Now, I'm not one to gossip, but I will bring you the tea. Welcome to Chronicle Speaks. Now, this Wendy Williams case is a prime example of why you believe none of what you hear and half of what you see, because behind the scenes, there is a story going on that many people don't even know about. So what do we know? We know that around the time the Lifetime documentary, Where is Wendy Williams, first aired, news suddenly broke that Wendy had frontotemporal dementia and primary progressive aphasia. Now, this news not only surprised the family, but let Wendy tell it, it shocked her as well. Now, both FTD and PPA are linked to degeneration, loss of brain cells in the frontal and or temporal lobes, and once these cells are damaged or lost, they cannot regenerate. Now, symptoms usually worsen over the course of years, and medical treatment right now can't stop or reverse the underlying disease process. So what does that mean? That means that over time, we should be seeing a decline with Wendy, with her speech, with the way she walks, with the way she interacts. This is the Wendy we had in 2022.
Wendy, would you want to go to the Oscars?
Oscars?
Yeah. This weekend?
What's Oscars?
To the Wendy that we currently have in 2025.
Wendy, you got fired from Hot 97 years ago because of Diddy. All these years later to see where Diddy currently is. What do you feel about that situation?
As far as Diddy will go to prison for life, people. You don't know things that I knew about Diddy back in the day, and you want to know what? It's about time, people. It is about time. Diddy done.
She's
Diddy done, doo-dah day.
Okay, what are you wishing for on your birthday?
Out of Guardianship?
Now, I don't know about y'all, but it seems to me as though this debilitating disease that Wendy allegedly has seems to be doing the opposite. She seems to be getting better. Now, Sabrina had a tug of war. She sued Lifetime. Lifetime sued her. There was a back and forth going on over the Where is Wendy documentary. During that time, Sabrina claimed that Wendy was cognitively impaired, permanently disabled, and legally incapacitated. When Wendy appeared on The Breakfast Club February 5th and denied being incapacitated, there was an immediate push for a new medical evaluation. Although Sabrina was assured that Wendy would fail, those evaluation results are now in, and in her latest filing, Morrissey asked to extend the guardianship until November 5th, citing complications as multiple parties, including Wendy's family, her ex-husband, and others are preparing to challenge both the guardianship itself and Morrissey's position as guardian. We're going to get into this story and so much more, but before we do, please be sure to subscribe to this channel and hit the bell for notifications so you don't miss out on any news regarding this case and so much more. Now let's get back into it. So People magazine announced that they have a source that told them that Wendy has been re-diagnosed with frontotemporal dementia and aphasia, and now that news has spread like wildfire. Now, according to People magazine, they have paperwork, but the paperwork that they have does not list Wendy's condition. However, they say that they've been told by a source that Wendy has been re-diagnosed with frontotemporal dementia and aphasia. I've said it once and I'll say it again. Believe none of what you see and half of what you hear. When it comes to this Wendy story, keep your eyes open. As adamant as Sabrina was telling the court that Wendy would not pass this medical evaluation, do you not think that that woman would be screaming from the rooftop, she failed and I'm still her guardian? And what are you going to do about it?
That's stupid. Use your common sense.
So let's discuss why there was a request for a new medical evaluation for Wendy Williams. So Sabrina argued that A&E, Lifetime's parent company, aired or planned to air personal and medical information about Wendy without proper consent, especially since Wendy was under guardianship. Now, she tried to block the series before it aired, but right before the premiere, Morrissey went to the court to stop A&E from releasing it, saying it would cause harm to Wendy's reputation and well-being. A&E pushed back hard, and the network argued that they had legal agreements and footage showing Wendy Williams participating in filming, and they also pointed out that the project had been in production for months with access granted by Wendy herself. The legal fight overlapped with the guardianship's dispute, and Morrissey's attempt to halt the show drew extra attention to the question of whether Wendy could make her own decisions, the very thing being challenged in her guardianship case. So essentially, Morrissey saw the documentary as exploitative and damaging, while A&E positioned it as an authorized, truthful portrayal.
There's this lawsuit saying that the lawsuit is with Lifetime and A&E, and it's the lawsuit that I've been told I stand to win $20 million. And that is a big deal. So you know what? I don't have frontotemporal dementia. I am not incapacitated. I am not a baby. You know what I'm saying? But I guess for Lifetime A&E, I stand to win all that money. So I'm supposed to be a blubbering idiot.
You're saying you didn't have the legal or mental capacity to authorize your participation. You're saying you did.
And that you met one time, and after that you changed your mind?
Correct. And by the way, you know, like I said, I don't want that kind of money. You know, I've worked with Lifetime several times. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Enough that I would love to do something with Lifetime again. They are good people to me.
Because Wendy is saying she does not have frontotemporal dementia or aphasia, because she's saying she does not want to sue Lifetime, they had to go back to the drawing board and get another medical evaluation. However, Wendy said she wanted the doctor to be unbiased. Now, we do not know who the doctor was. However, the medical evaluation has come back. Allegedly. So on August 5th, there was a letter written from Sabrina Morrissey's lawyer to Judge Abrams, who is the judge that's handling the Lifetime lawsuit. The letter says this: we write on behalf of plaintiff Sabrina E. Morrissey in her capacity as court-appointed guardian to Wendy Williams Hunter, known as the Guardian, pursuant to the court's order dated June 5, 2025, directing the parties to file a joint letter updating the court as to the status of the medical evaluation and proposing next steps in this action if necessary by August 5, 2025. The medical evaluation of Wendy Williams Hunter has now been completed after conducting a significant number of tests, both medical and neuropsychological, and scans including brain imaging. The medical specialists have formed an opinion concerning Wendy Williams Hunter's current neurological condition and diagnosis, including whether she has the ability to make decisions about the above referenced litigation arising out of the so-called documentary Where is Wendy Williams, which aired on February 24th and 25th, 2024. In the week since Your Honor's issuance of the June 5th order, however, further complications have arisen. These complications result from the fact that various parties, including counsel for certain members of Wendy Williams Hunter's family, Wendy Williams Hunter's ex-husband, and others have indicated their intentions to challenge both the guardianship itself as well as Ms. Morrissey's status as guardian. To that end, the court appointed Wendy Williams Hunter with new independent counsel to address these issues on Wendy Williams Hunter's behalf. Although we would prefer there not to be further delay, we do believe that it would be the most efficient and would best preserve both the court and the parties' resources to refrain from proceeding with the discovery in this lawsuit until the guardianship court has made a final determination with respect to these issues, presumably based at least in part of the results of the medical evaluation that have now been completed. Accordingly, because of the ongoing disputes regarding the guardian's role and authority, we respectfully request that this court extend the stay for the latter of 3 months from August 5th or November 5th, 2025, or until such time as the guardianship court has made a determination as to the status of the guardianship and the guardian. We have conferred with counsel for defendants and their position is set forth below. Defendant's position. Defendants remain concerned by the risk of prejudice from the delay due to Wendy Williams Hunter's purported progressive neurological disease as alleged in plaintiff's complaint. Therefore, defendants would not have any objection to the proposed additional stay of the litigation if plaintiff's counsel would work with defendants to set an early deposition of Wendy Williams Hunter. Plaintiff does not consent to this request for an early deposition. We appreciate your honest consideration and are available to address any questions that the court might have. Respectfully, Roberta Kaplan. Okay, so what would be the reason for Sabrina keeping this information sealed or vague? You know they're good for sealing information, right? They could avoid giving ammunition to challengers of the guardianship. If the medical report shows Wendy is more capable than people have been told, her family, her ex-husband, or a new independent lawyer could use that information to argue that she doesn't need a guardian anymore. Or on the flip side, if it's worse than expected, challengers could argue that Sabrina failed to protect her or that someone else should take over. Keeping these details hidden delays or limit those attacks until the guardianship court decides. Now, as far as A&E/Lifetime goes, the core of their lawsuit is whether Wendy was capable of consenting to the documentary or understanding what was being filmed. By not revealing the diagnosis now, Sabrina prevents the other side from locking in arguments or shaping their case around the medical evidence too early. A&E wants to question Wendy or have a deposition while she's still able to testify, and if her testimony proves their point, this case is thrown out. Last but not least, if it comes out that Wendy does not have frontotemporal dementia or aphasia, that first diagnosis that she got from Weill Cornell Medical would mean that it was fraudulent. Someone messed up, someone goofed off, someone got paid off. This case is way deeper than you guys know. You've all told me that you watched the movie I Care a Lot. Keep your thinking caps on. Stop falling for this nonsense. Asking for a stay in the case till November, but not wanting Wendy to do a deposition with A&E says a lot. What I need to do is hear from you. What do you think about everything going on with Wendy Williams and the stories that are being spun? Leave a comment and you know how we do. We'll talk about it down below. Talk to you guys later. Bye. As always, thanks for watching. But before you go, don't forget to subscribe to this channel, like this video, and hit the bell so you don't miss out on any of my new episodes.